Lawmakers are working on a bill that could land drivers 5 years in jail for hitting Lincoln bike riders.
National Signing Day is over. We'll show you the new faces you can expect to see in Memorial Stadium this fall.
And your car could be towed if it's parked on the wrong side of the street. It's our top story.
Star City News, I'm Kelsey Murphy.
And I'm Dustin Hoffman. Star City's John Kipper is live with more on what the city is doing to make neighborhoods safe for drivers. John?
The city of Lincoln had over 1 foot of snow dumped on it over the past 5 days, causing snowpiles such as this to bleed into the city streets. Therefore, a residential parking ban was put in place, barring cars from parking on the even number sides of the street, like this car is over there. So if city officials would catch this car, it would be subject to fines, or it could even find itself getting towed. Now the question is, why did it take the city so long to start cleaning up residential streets in the first place? The mayor said today that they just had other priorities to get to first.
It snows in Lincoln. Our first priority has to be the emergency routes, our major arterial streets, bus routes, and school routes. I think we all realize that that's the starting point.
That being said, it's also crucial for the city to clear the residential areas. The mayor has issued a parking ban that started this morning on all even-numbered sides of the street. That would be the north and east sides of the road. The city wanted to do these bans this past weekend, but according to Mickey Esposito, other priorities surfaced.
Because we had to keep plowing and material spreading over the areas we had already been, we just couldn't get to the residential streets on Sunday, which was the original plan.
Because of sunshine early in the week, Ballard didn't have to put a ban in place. Now they not only have residential bans, but they also have other types of parking bans. There's no parking on all arterial, school, and bus routes throughout Lincoln. There are also 8 high-density areas, including most of downtown, where parking is barred from 12 to 7 a.m. A city parking garage is being offered for use for downtown residents. As for how long the ban should take place, Ty Barger hopes just a couple of days.
We'll be working very, very hard to get as far as we can today. It'll be very tough to get the even sides of the streets done today. High degree of confidence that we can get through evens and most all of odds as well tomorrow. That's what we're trying to do, but there is some chance that we wind up having to carry this residential plowing operation into the weekend.
Now, if your car does end up getting towed, Capital Towing is the towing company that works with the city. They're located on 100th and Charleston. And if your car is in that lot, it's probably going to cost over $100 to get it out, so that's definitely something to avoid. Last thing, Mayor was adamant today that if you find yourself near a snowplow, don't follow it, don't really go close to it at all, because the snowplows aren't really needing to follow city laws in terms of driving, so you could find yourself getting in an accident. Reporting for Star City News, I'm John Kipper.
Thanks, John. The residential parking ban should switch over in the next 24 hours. Lincoln residents should keep their ears open for when to move their cars to the other side of the street.
10 armed robberies in 10 days, and none of them are solved. Look at this security camera shot. It's from the most recent robbery at Russ's Market at 17th and Washington. Witnesses describe this man as a white male in his 20s or 30s. He looks to be 5'9". Now take a look at this. This image comes from the Holiday Inn robbery last week. The suspect in this image fits the description of the Russ's Market suspect. Officials think the robberies might be connected.
Though we can't confirm that all of the recent robberies that we've had are related, there are some key things that are similar.
Police encourage anyone with information to contact the Lincoln Police Department. Nebraska railroads are improving, but it's going to cost one company over $100 million to remove. Star City's Michael Shively is live with more on the story.
Burlington Northern Santa Fe realizes the potential of Nebraska. The nation's second largest railroad is investing over $200 million into Nebraska's railway system to improve their operations in the state.
Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway is pouring $226 million into Nebraska railroads, up from $139 million just 2 years ago. Why the dramatic raise? BNSF Regional Director of Public Affairs, Andy Williams, says it's because of the vast network of customers in the state.
Our network there serves a number of customers, including the farmers there in Nebraska, the manufacturers.
The railroad industry as a whole is making a comeback in 2015. Williams thinks this is because Americans are buying and producing more goods.
But the economy's coming back, and freight railroad is an important part of that. So more goods are being moved on rail from west to east and east to west.
The millions of dollars will be going to double tracking some of the most important stretches of Nebraska Railway, specifically those by Aurora and Milford. The goal of these improvements is to move more freight more efficiently through one of the most important railroad states.
Our tracks in Nebraska literally link the state to global markets around the world. So it's important to us to ensure that our operations there are safe and efficient.
While the infrastructure improvements will mostly be focused in areas west of Lincoln, BNSF is still important to the city because it employs over 2,000 local workers. Reporting live for Star City News, I'm Michael Shively.
Thank you, Michael. Up next, a joint force fights back against ISIS.
And crews are looking for answers after a Trans-Asia plane crashes.
Fighters from Jordan have dropped airstrikes on ISIS soldiers. They unleashed a devastating attack that killed an estimated 55 ISIS militants. These strikes are in retaliation to ISIS burning a pilot alive. President Obama stated he will support whatever they want to do. The Jordan president says they will continue to strike the ISIS soldiers. King Abdullah says he might fly with the soldiers and drop an airstrike of his own. Jordan also executed 2 ISIS terrorists.
Divers are looking for plane parts and missing passengers from yesterday's plane crash. Trans-Asia Flight 235 crashed into the Keelong River yesterday morning. Just minutes after the plane took off, it hit this bridge and fell into the river. 58 passengers boarded the plane, 15 of them survived. Trans-Asia officials do not know what caused the crash. This is the second Trans-Asia plane to crash in 7 months. The last accident killed 48 people.
Sony Entertainment co-chairman Amy Pascal is stepping down. Her resignation stems from controversial emails leaked in one of the largest corporate hackings in history. She will still be involved with Sony as they will finance her new movie company. She's been at Sony for over 20 years now. It'll be interesting to see what her new role is.
Yeah, I really loved her work with producing The Social Network. I'm interested as well. But speaking of social networking, later on in the show, we have more on Facebook with our social media news.
But up next, we'll find out if we're totally done with this snow.
And now, a look at the forecast with Star City Weather.
Good evening, Lincoln. With your Star City weather forecast, I am Cody Carlin. It was a chilly day in Lincoln today. Currently, it's 26 degrees, sunny, but with that wind chill, it feels like 16 degrees. With the winds out of the south-southwest at 10 to 15 miles an hour. If we take a look at the almanac for today, high of 27, that's just 10 degrees below our normal average temperature of 37 degrees this year, but it's 40 degrees colder than our record high set back in 1938. If we look at our hourly forecast, 25 at 6 p.m., 9 p.m., 22. It'll cool off to 20 degrees as we head into the overnight hours, but it'll be 22 degrees as we head into 6 a.m. If we take a look across the state, 50 in McCook, North Platte, 35 degrees, Broken Bow at 28. Up in Valentine, it's 43 degrees. As we head east in Norfolk, it is currently 22, Columbus 21. In the Star City, it is 21, with Omaha being at 19. If we take a look at tomorrow, 42 degrees, partly cloudy. At 9 a.m., 24, noon, 34. And as you head home from your workday tomorrow, it'll be 42 degrees, partly cloudy, and 6 p.m., it will be 40 degrees. Taking a look at tonight, 20 degrees for the low, partly cloudy. It will be pretty chilly, so if you are headed out this evening, make sure that you wear a jacket and bundle up. For the week ahead, taking a look at this weekend, it looks to be beautiful. 49 degrees for Saturday, Sunday 47. As we take a look at the week ahead, Monday 43, sunny, Tuesday 47 as well, mostly sunny. It starts to cool off on Wednesday and Thursday, 40 degrees on Wednesday, 33 for Tuesday with a low around 20 for both of those days. And with it heating up in the next few days, we could see flooding as being an issue. But otherwise, it's going to be a great day, a great week out there as we head into next week.
It's great. It's a great opportunity, especially for those Lincoln Half Marathon trainers to get out of the gym and back outside again once the snow starts clearing up.
Exactly. As long as it's not too slippery for them, I think they should be just fine.
And that's what I care about, is getting rid of that snow.
Definitely. The slush is causing a lot of issues out there.
Thanks, Cody. Lincoln wants to be more bike friendly, and a new bill will protect bikers from others on the road. Star City's reporter David Gass has more with the story.
Omaha Senator Rick Kowalski has proposed a new bill that will bring harsher punishment to those that are found to be driving carelessly, causing serious death or injury to bikers. Kowalski's bill, LB 38, would allow for a maximum penalty of 5 years in jail, a $10,000 fine, and revocation of driving rights.
We're not trying to be heavy-handed or anything else. We're just trying to raise the ante in the sense of there have been accidents. They have been caused by negligence or poor driving behaviors, and there haven't been much in the way of penalties.
Kowalski says there's no favoritism in his bill. He believes that both bikers and drivers of motor vehicles should both be held responsible for their actions.
The bicyclist that is all over the road and not just in his or her designated lane or spot is equally at fault as a careless driver who's all over the road and swipes a biker.
And local bikers seem to be on board with his plan.
The reason I do cycle, because there is adventure to it and adventure cycling, so that you can't make it completely safe, but I think it would minimize the risk.
Kowalski said at the end of the day, LB 38 is simply a bill that Nebraskans need.
If I had a pistol and I put that pistol out of my car window and fire it and hit somebody in the head and kills them, I'm going to jail for a long time. But if I take this 2,000-pound car and drive it very erratically, maybe under the influence of something, and I hit that biker and kill him, I may have a year in jail or probation or $10,000 or $5,000 or $1,000 fine. I've killed someone as dead as a .45 caliber bullet and hit him in the head, but there's no severe penalty for that.
Thank you, David. And the bill also protects people riding tractors, motorcycles, and even people in wheelchairs. If the bill is passed, it would become laws 90 days after the end of the current legislative season. So the National Signing Day was yesterday, and what do you think, Dustin? Do we have some good Husker players coming up?
I really do. I like the Davis twins a lot, and I think Eric Lee will be a shutdown corner in the future. But with more on that, let's go to Devin Cleach, who has sports up next.
I'm Devin Cleach, and here's sports. Mike Riley's first recruiting class is in the books, and Nebraska's future is bright after a National Signing Day. With 20 recruits signing their national letter of intent, the Huskers are hoping to get back to national prominence with the help of fresh talent. One of the Huskers' biggest recruits, literally and figuratively, is Jalen Barnett. The 6'4", 300-pound offensive lineman is considered one of the top guards in the 2015 class. He is from Lawton, Oklahoma, and the coaching staff persuaded him to come to Lincoln to spruce up a weak position for the Huskers. On the other side of the ball, the black shirts are what Nebraska is known for, and Eric Lee Jr. couldn't wait to be a part of it. As one of the Huskers' 3 ESPN 300 recruits, Lee graduated school early in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, to join the team for the spring semester. At right around 6 foot, 180 pounds, he will build strength to fight for a starting spot at defensive back. In-state recruits have been a big piece of the puzzle for Nebraska. Defensive end Deshaun Neal from Omaha Central got looks from Oregon, Michigan, and Oklahoma, but settled on the Huskers after comments made by a Michigan assistant. Neal will join a defensive line group that has been the strongest it's been in a while. Nebraska ends the 2015 recruiting season with the 31st nationally ranked class and the 4th in the Big Ten. Big areas of concern are better now with additions at linebacker and offensive line. Stanley Morgan is one of 2 wide receivers in this class, but will be looking to make a splash in a very good group of receivers. Adrian Talon was the last to sign with the Huskers to finish off Riley's first recruiting class. The new recruits, already in school, will get to show off their skills to eager crowd at the spring game. Over 20,000 tickets were sold to the game in just over 2 hours. The hype is around the players and the new head coach, Mike Riley. April 11th will be the fans' first look at what Riley will bring to Nebraska. That's it for sports. I'm Devin Cleach. Let's send it back to Kelsey and Dustin.
Thanks, Devin. I'm definitely looking forward to the spring game this April.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like game days on campus, whether it's in season or spring game day, it's the place to be. And speaking of the university, let's check in with Tanner Westerholt for some more university news.
Welcome to UNews, your source for campus news. I am Tanner Westerholt. UNO students had the opportunity to witness the future. They got hands-on experience during a Supreme Court hearing on the UNL East Campus. Chief Justice Mike Heavenkin says the experience helped both parties. UNL law students had the opportunity to witness the future. They got hands-on experience during a Supreme Court hearing on the UNL East Campus. Chief Justice Mike Heavenkin says this experience helps both parties.
It's an opportunity to have some interaction with the public, to have some interaction with folks who will soon be lawyers, and that helps us.
Heavenkin said by holding a hearing on campus once a year, law students are more prepared for real experiences. He said if students are better prepared, court cases would move much more smoothly. The Supreme Court looks after state government, but for UNL, it's ASUN that governs the student body. ASUN has announced 2 new parties running for student government, Empower and Launch, to look to further the connection between the student body and the university staff. I don't know about you, but I was disappointed about going to class in 6 inches of snow, and a lot of students were curious, what is the criteria for snow day? There is no confirmed amount of snow that results in a snow day. The nature of the snow, whether sticky, wet, or dry, has much more to do with the decision to cancel class. Local and regional forecasts are researched, and if conditions seem to be worsened, the likelihood of a snow day increases. Ultimately, Chancellor Harvey Perlman has the final say on snow day decisions. That's it for your campus news. I'm Tanner Westerholt. Now let's go back to Kelsey and Dustin.
Thanks, Tanner. Now some breaking news from earlier this afternoon. University of South Carolina officials say the campus is safe once again after shots were fired.
2 people were killed in what appears to be a possible murder-suicide. Police were called to the scene just after 1 p.m. and students were warned around 1:20.
A university official says classes will continue as scheduled, except for those in the building where the shooting occurred.
After the break, one of the best musicals in the country is coming to Lincoln. Find out who, coming up next.
Welcome back. I'm Ingrid Holmquist reporting your entertainment news for the day. Lincoln native Ashley Graham is breaking down barriers in the media. She is the first plus-size model woman in Sports Illustrated's swimsuit edition. Graham models for publications such as Elle, Harper's Bazaar, Glamour, and Latina. The size 16 model is working with the swimwear brand to create a buzz on social media by using the hashtag #CurvesInBikinis to inspire girls to love and embrace their curves. About the advertising campaign, Graham says, "I know my curves are sexy, and I want everyone else to know that theirs are too. There is no reason to hide and every reason to flaunt." This year marks the 80th anniversary of Monopoly. To celebrate, the new anniversary edition has a special surprise. Pass go, get out of jail free, and collect $23,600. 80 boxes recognizing 80 years of the game will contain that much real money. We're not talking about the thin, pastel, numbered paper you flaunt at family game night. 80 purchasers will cash in their real Benjamins, or rather their real euros. Unfortunately, only Parisian retailers will sell the 80 boxes. And tomorrow, the famous Chicago Symphony Orchestra performs at the Leeds Center. The orchestra is recognized by Gramophone Magazine, an international music authority, as the top American orchestra. The orchestra features Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, as well as works by Richard Strauss and Franz Schubert. This is the symphony's first trip to Lincoln. This has been Ingrid Holmquist reporting. Back to you, Kelsey and Dustin.
Thanks, Ingrid. It's too bad those real money in those Monopoly games are only in Europe.
I know. I was looking forward to going out, buying a game. Kind of reminds me of Willy Wonka's Golden Ticket.
Do you have a favorite piece you played with?
You know, I always liked the dog, but my sister got the seniority on that, and I was stuck with the thimble.
I like to be the cannon.
That's a good one. That's a good one as well. Now let's send it over to Rachel Hofstra and find out what's happening with social media.
Thanks, Dustin. I'm Rachel Hofstra, and here's what's trending in social media today. I bet you're getting used to seeing Jimmy Fallon's name on your news feeds, and you will again. He just came out with another hit video as he reunited the Saved by the Bell cast. Check it out.
Hi, Zach.
Hey, Cal. I can't wait. I'm so excited for the big dance.
Listen, you and I have to talk. I'm pregnant.
Time out.
The video has received over 1 million hits and is still climbing. Now let's give a big happy belated birthday to Facebook. As they celebrate their 11th birthday, we can reminisce on the past. Facebook has drastically grown since they first opened the site to Harvard students. They started at a small 1 million users, and now they are up to over 1.2 billion users. Nebraska is also making its way into social media with their live camera. Nebraska athletes have set up a camera in their recruiting office, which you think would be boring, but they have had quite the characters appear. They have shown everything from sharks to Teletubbies and much more. For more on these stories and others, check out our Twitter and Facebook page at Star City News 15.
Thanks, Rachel. You know, Bo Pelini pulled some fun stunts when he was around. Looks like Mike Riley's following suit.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what he has up his sleeve for the upcoming season. Thanks for watching our show tonight. I'm Kelsey Murphy.
And I'm Dustin Hoffman. Good night, Lincoln.